Hi, everyone. Welcome to S.AF E Spaces. I'm here with Vincent Antone, friend, and our next music artist. He's an amazing artist out of Austin, Texas. Um, he has been up to speed on Sober AF Entertainment, and we're really pumped that he is about to show us an amazing music genre, and just wanted to have a little interview with you and see what's going on in your world and hear a little bit about Vincent and how things are going.
How's it going, man? Happy to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm from Austin, Texas. Been sober for a few years now.
In a row.
Yeah, 4. Coming up on 4 this summer. Yeah.
Think of that. That's a lot of weekends. That is a lot of weekends.
It's a lot of time, man, especially when you're doing the hardcore stuff I was doing. So
right.
But yeah, I think it's really cool that y'all have this going on. I've heard of similar situations with I think we were talking about earlier, like the Grateful Dead, Fish,
right?
Different groups that have communities like that, and I think that's awesome. So I think y'all are doing good work.
Yeah, we're trying to do more of a do-it-yourself national recovery support movement. So if there is a music festival, or if it's a concert, or if it's a sporting event, and somebody want to host their own kind of sober support event beforehand, or a sober section, they get in touch with us, and then we use our nonprofit status, get half off seats, and get a community together. So I know I got sober at 21, and a big part of me being able to stay sober was finding a community who wanted to go out and do fun stuff. And this idea of, if I got sober, then all the fun stuff is going to stop, was a big deal for me to make sure that didn't happen. I was big into the Dead, and had a great group of friends who still loved me enough to let me hang with them at Dead shows sober. So that wasn't, sometimes when you stop drinking, it makes people look at their own stuff. And this group was comfortable enough to let me still hang with them, even though I wasn't doing balloons. And, I got to watch the balloons for a little bit. I'm like, I think I'm out of here. I'm going to go get a veggie burrito somewhere. I don't need to watch you guys do balloons for 4 hours.
Right.
But I just kind of appreciate this generation getting away from drugs and alcohol and still having a great time at, a lot of concerts and music festivals that are a pretty heavy drug scene at times.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. For me, it's like I kind of shifting the narrative from like, when you're young, thinking it's cool to be really messed up, and at shows. And now that I'm sober and I see people like that, like especially ones that are missing the mark a little bit.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's more cool to be someone that you can count on, like, in a friend you can lean on in a situation, if something happens. When I first got sober, I went through withdrawals, and then within 10 days of that was having to play a festival, like a big festival.
Which one?
Float Fest in Central
Texas.
Yeah, so it was like Weezer and Mike Jones and a bunch of kind of mainstream stuff, but it was like I was afraid of kind of jumping back into it too early.
Right.
Because, it's like 10 days sober, it's not a long time, and
not
10,000 20-year-olds, having a raging time. It's tricky, but in hindsight, I'm glad I did it, because it forced me to kind of learn how to handle that, and then also prove to me that I can have a good time without that. Because I feel like if you're sober and that's what you're trying to do, it's like you're taking the art in its purest form. You're actually going to remember it. You're going to hear it as it was intended. There's something to that. And if you really like music and art and all that, like, why wouldn't you want to receive it that way?
So true. And I had a similar experience where, like, 15 days sober, I spent all night in line waiting for tickets to go on sale. And then within, maybe the first 6 weeks of my sobriety, I was at a Grateful Dead show.
Nice.
And I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but I think because I broke that ice early on and knew I could do it,
Right.
I learned it helps to have like a sober wingman with me at those events.
Absolutely.
But and the flip side is if people never do it, then at 5 years or 10 years sober, they don't have this outlet.
Mm-hmm.
And all they know is work and family,
Right.
and it's like, that self-care, art therapy kind of a thing that music is for me, stayed a priority. And I was able to, make that part of my community.
Yeah. I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that at that festival, I had a sober companion that was like kind of looking out for me. So it's not like I went into it just on my own and was like,
Right.
So, and I think that touches on a point that I think we all know to be true, which is like the community is a very important part. No matter what that looks like, if it's something more formal or informal, just having people that have your best interests at heart around you, that's a very important thing. And that's kind of carried on. Like I've been playing ever since, and have had nothing but mostly fun times, and having to just accept that that's where my life is. And like the other big part of it is like, I don't want to go back to the way I was living. My life is unfolded in such a way that is much better than it was. And so that's something I kind of carry with me and value quite a bit. So, if that idea ever arises to throw it all away, I have to stop and like check my gratitude and see what's, going on and be like, oh yeah, like you don't want to go back to that,
Right. And I think that's why that community is important, right? It kind of gets you through hard times. We're all going to go through some hard times.
Absolutely.
And, you don't have to do this alone. And right now it feels that way. We're all kind of isolated and everything's different. And so when we're kind of back, in person at a lot of events, there'll be a little extra anxiety because it'll be kind of new. So,
Right.
so if you are looking for a sober support group, we're out there, Sober AF Entertainment. So Vincent, if somebody wants to listen to more of your music or purchase your music, what's the best way to do that?
It's on all streaming platforms. I actually put out a record last week called Soul Searching. Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes if you want to purchase it. Basically anywhere music is streamed or sold, it's there. This set I'm playing for y'all here in a minute was recorded in Austin, or I guess an hour outside of Austin, Central Texas. Really beautiful on Lake LBJ right at sunset. Really nice, serene energy, and so yeah, we're really happy about it, and I hope everyone here enjoys it.
Well, awesome. On that note, let's let it start, but wanted to say thanks so much. Ideally, we're in Austin at a Texas game, and we're going to have you play at that event, and that would be a lot of fun just to have a little rager in the quad before
Yeah,
a show and do it all sober.
I'm here for it, man.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again, and we look forward to listening to you right now.
All right, man.